All right, are we ready to talk about Star Wars for the week?
Yeah.
Time to talk about Star Wars. It's Starformers night. That means it's time for Rebels and Robots. Welcome, everyone, to Rebels and Robots, episode 5, with Cameron and...
Oh, Rachel. I feel like you normally say my name, so I just like sit through the intro and
I was hoping that would work, but we're trying new stuff. I wanted to include you.
I should have said Athena.
That would have been funny. Yes. With Cameron and...
Athena.
No! Anyways, welcome to our weekly discussion about Star Wars and Transformers. Mostly Star Wars right now, but we find very strange ways of flipping Transformers in there.
It's going to get a way more Star Wars in the next couple weeks, too. I almost said Bad Batch.
We're just 3 weeks from starting to overlap with Mandalorian Season 3.
3 weeks from today. March 1st.
We're getting there, man.
It's going to get the week before, and they're going to be like, actually, we're going to push it back.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Which means they're going to push everything else back.
Actually, we decided to cancel the second half of Bad Batch and just show Mandalorian Season 3.
This is it. This is Season 2. We only get 8 episodes.
Well, as always, we normally like to start off with general news, discussion, anything fun we've learned about either Star Wars or Transformers, or also I like to do some comments about last week's episode, which I want to start off with a great quote from Rachel last week that I did not really catch last time. Right at the start of the episode, you just said, I have more jokes than anything, which is a really great summation of this podcast. I thought that was hilarious. Another thing I wanted to comment on from last week was I was right for once. Normally, she's watching her cat, Athena. What's the cat doing? She munching?
No, she was about to. I have to feed her less because the vet... This is a side tangent. I have to feed her less because the vet told me she needed to lose weight. So now by the time it gets to podcasting time, she's eaten all her food for the day. So she doesn't have any noise to make.
That's hilarious. Right next to the table where we podcast here in Rachel's apartment, there's a little water fountain for the cat with moving water.
It's 70 ounces.
Okay, well, it's not like... What if I said big water fountain? People would imagine something that's in a town square. It's like a foot, not even a foot tall. And we have to unplug it. Did we just hear her?
She's chatting.
I thought I picked her up on your mic.
She's yelling. It's because we turned the water off.
Well, that's what I was about to comment on, was that we have to turn the water fountain off because it's right next to where we podcast, and she walked over and was just staring at it. It was really funny. Okay, this cannot become a cat podcast.
It is. It's too late.
Almost every episode up until now, I have started off with a correction of myself in the previous episode. With this, instead of a correction this week, I had to say that I was right about something last week, which is you went to say that J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson grew up watching Star Wars, but you said J.J. Abrams and Ryan Star Wars.
Did I really?
And on the podcast, I said, did you just say Ryan Star Wars? And you're like, I don't think I did. Well, I listened back to it. And not to call you out, I just think it was really funny that that you said that and that I was right. So, good old Ryan Star Wars.
Ryan Star Wars.
Anyways, any fun news from the week? Anything come up in your life? Any memories pop into your head? Like about Star Wars or Transformers?
I made this realization, I think, sometime in the past week. So this is for all you people that have watched Clone Wars, unlike certain people at the table.
I've watched like 25% of it.
I realized, so the Bad Batch, their, government name is Clone Force 99.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a clone that, I don't remember what season it's in. I think maybe 4. His name is 99. I've got his Wikipedia up, and 99 was a malformed clone of the Mandalorian bounty hunter Jango Fett, who served at cloning facilities and performed janitorial duties at Tipoca City on the planet Kamino. Yes. During the Clone Wars, he died during the Battle of Kamino in 21 BBY. He was deemed unfit for service because of his limited physical abilities, like deemed unfit for service in the army and overly rapid aging. And so I'm kind of curious if there's a connection between Clone 99 and Clone Force 99, if there's like a bit of a connection there. If they took inspiration from that, is there a weird conspiracy theory that Clone 99 was part of Clone Force 99. Is that somewhere out there in the internet?
That is interesting.
I've never heard anyone talk about it and I just kind of happened to think about it. I was like,
he's a popular character, 99.
Yeah.
Like
People love him.
Mentioned in memes. I mean, I even know who he is. So,
I'm curious.
That is interesting.
Curious, maybe it's an inspiration kind of thing.
Yeah, at the very least, it's a nice little nod.
Yeah.
A little reference. I mean, there certainly has to be a connection. Like, that doesn't seem like an accident. That is interesting.
There are no accidents. Just happy clones.
I am trying to find right now a video I wanted to play a little audio from. It's a little interesting tidbit that I found, but I thought I'd be able to find it faster.
Well, I'm yawning. Sorry. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen anyone make that connection. I feel like Reddit would have shown me. Reddit would have said something, but I don't know. Maybe I'm smarter than Reddit. Than all of the combined people.
It's not hard to be, generally speaking. Okay, here's all my likes. Anyways, please, if you continue on that, or if you had another thing.
I think that was really kind of it. I did see some comments online that they weren't spoilers for these seasons tonight, but I saw someone say that these 2 episodes were the best episodes so far. And I thought,
I don't know. I really liked episode 2.
I was gonna say,
Cody
feel like
and
episodes 1 and 2 were. I don't know. I feel like they were so far the best. Just for me personally.
Well, sorry, not episode 2. I forgot the first 2 episodes were. It was 1 and 2 were released at the same time. Episode 3 with Cody and Deadshot was my favorite episode so far.
Deadshot?
Shoot. He's like Deadshot, the character from the DC universe. What is his name? I'm totally blanking. Crosshair. Wow. It's the same character. It's just a guy who's really good at making shots. Man, unfortunately, I cannot find this thing.
Gobsmacked.
Well, you'll have to look it up yourself. But I can describe it, and that gets to the interesting element of it. But I did want to
send it to me.
I thought that I did, but I think maybe I had intentionally saved it so that I could hear your reaction on the pod. I didn't find it.
Well, I can fill time.
Okay, yes, fill time. Oh, I just found it. Okay, great. So, I learned from a video. So I think most people probably know, and maybe this is going to be an additional fact for you if you didn't already know. David Prowse, the actor who played the physical body of Darth Vader, did all of Vader's lines on set. Mm-hmm. Look that up. It's hilarious because he's doing the lines, but they're not voiced over.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance.
Exactly. And so it's just coming from behind the mask. So it's like really muffled, and it's this like posher British accent. It's hilarious. Well, and a very similar thing that I did not know about. What are you pointing at?
That's
me?
what he does.
That's what Vader does. Yeah.
Leia, he just like gives her a very stern.
You're a part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. That's what the actors on set thought Vader was going to sound like. It's so funny. Well, in a very similar thing that I have somehow never heard about, the actor who played Chewbacca did the same thing. He did English lines for Chewbacca on the set so that the other actors could like better, especially like Han, could better interact with him. And this is what it sounds like. Okay, the video has a little bit of explanation. I'm gonna let it play and then see if I can bring up the audio. And just 1 second here. Okay.
But on set, Peter
this is the video he's playing.
Here,
it'll have it.
You said it, Chewie. This was so the other actors could get the rhythm of the scene right. And Chewie's real voice was, of course, dubbed in later. Knowing that still doesn't make it any less weird to hear, though.
We good! Make my report! Tell him we're leaving it! All right. I'll tell him.
Chewbacca speaking.
Yeah, so that little muffled voice. We're leaving then. It's Chewbacca on the set. So good.
That reminds me of a video I've seen. I don't know if I'm going to find it. It's not Star Wars or Transformers, so I won't show it. But there's a clip of, forgive me if I say this wrong, Ryota playing Baragon and Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters, all attack. Where she's like in the constant, and she's roaring during like her scenes. But they're adorable because she's like, Wah! It's the cutest roars. I have to show it to you because that
sounds great.
She's precious.
That is precious.
But same energy.
Anything else to share before we get into our discussion?
Gosh, I really don't have. I don't really feel like I have. Oh, Star Wars Celebration is going to be coming up.
Oh yeah, you sent me that post about some of the people who were talking.
Oh my gosh,
about it.
there is another post. I'm gonna pull it up. Is honestly quite the lineup. Well, who posted it? If it's not on here, who did I sent it to you? Who posted it? You sent me more Instagram. We'll start. Okay, so we have first of all, Gwendolyn Christie is gonna be there. Captain Phasma, and I love Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
Ming-Na Wen, Fennec Shand, Juna Suatomo, Chewbacca.
The new
Chewbacca. New Chewbacca. Yeah. Silas Carson, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Matthew Wood, and it's credited voice of General Grievous.
Yeah.
Not the body of General
Which reminded me, do you know like who that guy is? He's not an actor.
The voice of General Grievous. Yeah. He's the voice of General Grievous.
Okay. That's self-explanatory. He is just an animator.
Really?
He was just on the set, and they decided to have him do it. And it wasn't until someone pointed it out to me that I really never really realized, because it's very heavily modulated. It's just a Dracula voice. Is all Grievous's voice is. It is. While we all love Grievous, he's super fun and goofy and over the top. It is not a good voice performance. Like, that's kind of what makes it fun, is how bad it is. Mm-hmm. And the heavy modulation kind of helps it sound like a robot. But man, I mean, once you realize it's just a guy doing a Dracula voice, it's pretty darn funny.
There's also going to be Tim Rose, Admiral Akbar.
Original Akbar or new Akbar? Is he, how old does he look?
He's young. Or no, he's old. I think he's the original Akbar, one. Then. Because Caroline Blackiston, original Mon Mothma, is going to be there. Mike Quinn.
Must be cool for her. A character that until just a few months ago, very few people outside
and her calling card was many Bothans have died to bring us this information.
A few months ago, I feel like a majority of people did not know that character's name, didn't even know that, like, it's such a small character in the original movies. Like, you have to be pretty deep into Star Wars to know who that is.
I love Mon Mothma. Anyways, Mike Quinn, Nien
little stack of pancakes.
Yes.
Japanese stereotype.
Michael Carter, Bib Fortuna. Okay, so all like the original ones. Mike Edmonds, who played I think that's an Ewok. Log Ray. That's who he's credited as.
So all this make me think about, if you, obviously very few of us are going to make it out to London Celebration. Oh, the
Femi Taylor Ula, one of the Twi'lek dancers from...
Yeah, the one who got eaten by the Rancor.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of extras from Jabba's palace going to be there.
Well, this reminds me, I'll make a quick recommendation. Very few of us are ever going to go to a Star Wars conference. Or it's not a conference. It's
maybe if Disney listens to our podcast, they'll invite us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to get real big to get invited.
I'm just saying, it could happen, Cameron.
That could happen.
It could happen.
I don't know. I think they might not appreciate after the Alex Jones incident from last week.
And who brought that up?
So good. That was my favorite moment listening back from last week, was to see how quickly you jumped on me and how, like, that's the loudest you've been in any of it. It's so funny. Anyways.
My stress level.
Very few of us are ever going to make it to a Star Wars convention. But if you none of us, like, I can't imagine, like, if you said, hey, you can pay $100 to come listen to Star Wars extras talk about being in Star Wars. That wouldn't be interesting to you. But a documentary might interest you. If you like Star Wars and you want to hear what it was like to be part of the original trilogy, especially episode 4, when no one knew what they were doing, there's a really great documentary called Elstree 1977. So it's ELSTREE 1977. And it's just interviews with extras and smaller bit characters from the original trilogy. And it's really interesting.
I'll check that out. I thought you were going to bring up Lights and Magic, and I was like, man, you are giving some high praise for this.
We already talked about that, and that's different and long. This is one movie, and it's 1976.
And it's all about Star Wars.
Yeah, Elstree 1976, which was the address of the soundstage they shot at in London. So... Yeah, check that out. If hearing all these obscure characters and their actors from the original trilogy sound, if you'd want to hear them tell their stories. It's mostly like rebel pilots and like Imperial officers. It's great.
I'd come listen to them.
So yeah, you ready to talk about?
Yes, I am.
This week? So we've got a double header this week again. But this time not because we skipped a week, but because that's the way it is. So
we're halfway through.
Yeah, we are halfway through this season 2, and things are starting to get amped up. We've got a really dramatic pair of episodes here, a shared plot between the two. And so the first episode is the clone conspiracy. This is episode 5, correct? Episode 5 of the season?
No, this was 7 and 8.
Wow, yeah, 7. Wow, yes, I got that number.
The next
way off.
time we get double episodes is going to be 15 and 16.
Yes. Okay. So the clone conspiracy. We are on Coruscant for most of the episode without the Bad Batch. Yeah, we don't see them until the next episode.
You're right.
An entire episode of the Bad Batch without the Bad Batch. That is interesting. And
we moved the plot along.
Yes, you got to get rid of them. Yeah. And so we see a clone named Cade get assassinated.
We open up in 79s. Is
that the name of the bar?
Yeah. I think it's Reddit. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, it's 79s. Like 79'S, like possessive. Like it's a clone. So yeah, we open up with Cade in slip. And Cade gets assassinated. I guess I saw this question. How popular do you have to be before it switches from murdered to assassinated?
That is a good point. I mean, I guess technically it's whether it's for a political reason or not. But yeah, he did get
Moitered.
He did get killed. And his friend Slip escapes though. That's how we knew it wasn't Crosshair, because he
they survived.
And I'm gonna do exactly what you did at one of the previous episodes. I'm gonna snatch a hair off the microphone.
There's actually 2.
Was there another one? Oh, yeah. There it is. Yep.
I got one too.
We could like get lost for a while doing that. You commented on the fact that Slip. I missed a great chance for a pun a second ago. Slipped away.
Oh man!
You commented.
We got to restart from the beginning.
You commented on the fact that he has a beard.
Multiple of them had. Okay, well, let's see what he had a beard, and my first thought was that is not Imperial regulations.
Yeah, is it possible he's already retired?
Maybe Rampart made him blow up Camino and then said goodbye. Here's your pension.
Yeah, it's very likely.
It's a half a sandwich and a pair of tennis shoes. I don't know.
But it is
his beard.
We're not
stunned.
We're obviously used to seeing a clone with a beard because of Rebels, but
not that big old beard.
We're not used to seeing a clone, an active service clone with a beard.
Yeah,
because normally they're very clean cut with their short hair. And
thoroughly startled.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ah.
And you also commented on a particular group of people being very excited, potentially.
The TikTok girlies are going to go feral. And you know what? I like a good beard myself, so more power to them.
I thought that was funny. Did you have another comment on the beginning of this episode? I thought you were going to say something. I cut you off.
We've seen that bar before.
Oh, yeah, in Clone Wars.
I think that...
No one's ever truly gone.
Is that where Fives dies?
I don't know.
I can't remember if it's in the bar. Maybe I'm misremembering. I also haven't watched that arc since the first time I saw it because I don't rewatch Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Well, anyways, we then go on to the Senate.
Woo!
And that's I feel this is new information to us, correct? That the galaxy thinks that the cities on Camino got destroyed by a storm.
Yes. And I said that really reminded me of side tangent for those of you guys that have seen Godzilla, King Kong versus Godzilla. They killed the residents of Skull Island off in a storm between movies and acknowledged it in a comic. Anyways, that's what it made me, which is a whole issue, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox there for that, but it kind of reminded me of that, like, oh no, it's a storm. The place where it's always raining.
But it wasn't a storm. It was a storm of bullets.
An orbital bombardment.
Yes. Some loud lightning happening out. Oh no, it's lightning, it's lasers. Anyways. I'm surprised they didn't cover it up as a mining accident. That'd be because that's what they said in Andor. Well, that's what they said in Rogue One about the first test of the Death Star on Jeddah, right. And then they say something about all of Andor's people being wiped out by a mining accident, and many people have taken that as saying that's a cover up because they use that same phrase. And it would be so good if they just kept using it. Just every time something bad happens,
there's another mining accident. What were they mining for on Camino?
Water. Rainwater.
Fish. We got to
conch shells.
Conch shells. The Kraken.
A mining accident blew up all the cities on the planet.
They got Davy Jones'd.
They're going to the locker. Davy Jones locker.
Wow, phenomenal Omega impression. I was gonna say, back to the Senate. We saw quite a few senators. We saw Bail Organa, of course.
Correct.
And we saw Senator Pamlo.
Who's that?
She's the one we looked up. She's from Rogue One. She had the green hood.
Oh, yeah, it's one word. Sorry, yes. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong names here. Yeah, Pamlo.
And then we got Senator Chuchi, who we haven't seen since the Clone Wars, who is George Lucas's daughter.
Is the voice?
No.
Or in the live action
in the live action, do you remember how George Lucas cameoed in Attack of the Clones? Is the Blue Pantoran?
Yeah, I know he's in Revenge of the Sith.
They all melt together. Anyways, George Lucas cameos as a Pantoran senator.
Yeah, okay.
In Clone Wars, they gave that character and his family an arc. And so I just realized I am incorrect. I don't think she's that character's daughter, but they're from the same planet.
I see.
Scratch that. They're going to tear me apart. Anyways, but we got to see Senator Chuchi, who we haven't seen since the Clone Wars. And that was like one of the first couple seasons she's introduced because she's on Hoth with Anakin and Obi-Wan in their little puffer jackets. Ignore the tangent about George Lucas. I was incorrect.
And so, yeah, she's our pivotal character for this episode. She decides to go digging after meeting Slip at the bar, and he pulls her in, beckons her into the shadows. And you made that a great comment. And you're like, no one's gonna notice her in that bright pink outfit. And later you refer to it as bright fuchsia outfit, which I thought was really funny.
So here's one thing I thought, before we go too far, talking about, they're in the Senate meeting, they're like, what are we gonna do with all these clones? And some people are like, we literally do not care. And Chuchi is like, we should feed them and make sure that they are supported. And my first thought was, rather realistic mirror of real life treatment of war veterans.
Sure.
We see, unfortunately, Kenobi gives us kind of an insight that this didn't work out, because we see that 501st clone begging for money. So
yeah, at the very least he was homeless.
Yes, at the very least he was one that did not have it so good. Another bearded clone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But anyways, so I kind of thought, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Nice little, showing that
it's going to be sad. We've known pretty much at the beginning of Bad Batch, this is going to get real sad.
Yeah.
This is not a good time for the universe.
Nice reminder that Star Wars has always been about politics.
Yes, very true.
You're like, that's pretty accurate. It's nice to see Coruscant again.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of nice to see. We got to see it in Andor.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to kind of get away from whatever planet the Bad Batch has been on. And Ord Mantell, I think. Maybe that's the city. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say the next comment I had written down was we cut to Rampart talking to his sniper assassin over hologram communication, and the guy steps in and he's got like this helmet on. You just go, Bane? And I thought it was pretty accurate. It looked quite a bit like the villain from Batman. But I'm not realizing though there already is a Bane in the Star Wars universe. Cad Bane.
I definitely wasn't thinking about Cad Bane.
Yeah.
More like
to classify or clarify.
Boom.
I will shoot these clone troopers. Actually, you know what? It's easier to understand Christopher Nolan Bane than there's one particular stormtrooper in the next episode. We'll talk about it.
Side tangent on Bane. Bane and Harley Quinn is hilarious.
Absolutely.
He's probably one of the best ones. Anyways, we did talk. We were watching this hologram of Rampart calling this
mysterious man,
sniper,
the man with no name.
And we were talking. We were like, that better not be Crosshair just under a different mask.
It would have been bad writing, but hilarious. But I said there's no way it could be him because it wasn't that same dramatic sting music from episode 3 when he stepped in.
That's so good.
So the next scene is Chuchi meeting up with Slip, and I just have written down Slip gets snipped. He gets shot right in the shoulder.
He did not give him the slip.
Oh, Slip didn't get to slip this time.
No, slipped into a coffin. That was a nervous man.
Yeah. Every time we saw him after the first scene, he's like looking over his shoulder constantly. Like I just imagine him. That's the only way he knows how to like move now is like constantly like darting back and forth. Man, his neck's gonna be sore.
He was not anymore.
Now everything's sore.
No, he actually won't feel anything. So he was on I can't remember what it's called. The little communicator, the little like vape looking thing that they talk into.
Yes.
And he was talking to someone, and obviously, like a clone answers back. And I went, and I looked at Cameron, and Cameron's like, and Cameron just looks at me, and he's like, that could be any of them.
Which is accurate. It could be. They all have the same voice.
No, they don't.
Even the genetically altered ones.
No, they don't.
Like they didn't have to have D. Bradley Baker voice every character of the Bad Batch, but they did.
This is probably a record for voice actors in this episode.
Pretty dramatic.
But so we get through this, this chase scene where Slip gets killed and one of Chuchi's guards get killed, and then her other guard, who remains alive, takes a full sniper shot to the chest and just books it, even though that same shot killed his friend, and Slip died from one to the shoulder.
Yep. It's
the plot armor
it's
varies.
Whatever. They all end up dead anyways.
My semblance disbelief is shattered.
Oh yeah, that's where you lost it.
So Chuchi is booking it, trying to get out, and then she, in full on Halloween style, trips backwards over nothing. Probably those platform heels she's wearing. Truly, I don't know how practical those are, but fashion. And we see a hooded man come out of the shadows, and he shoots what ends up being the sniper, and it's our boy. And here's what I just have written: Captain Rix. And so
Rix gets some mentor mix.
We do. They do the reveal, and he pulls his hood down, and I'm like, it's Captain Rix. And Cameron, you immediately say, did he always have blonde hair? And that is what makes him stick out from every.
This is what happened.
No comment is safe.
I get Rex and Cody mixed up. So I was thinking Cody in my head because it made more sense. Because I was expecting Cody because he went AWOL on. I almost said Geonosis. I don't know if there's any more opposite. I'm going to call you out. I don't know if there's any more opposite planets in Star Wars than Geonosis and Coruscant. And you thought Coruscant and Geonosis were the same planet in Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones.
Now, hold on. When I first saw Attack of the Clones, I didn't have the front part of my brain. It was still developing. So when I associated it together, they cut from Geonosis straight to Coruscant at the same time of day in the same.
One is a desert planet. One is all city.
Do you want to know what shot angle they have it? They have it pointed up towards the sky.
You see the city. You see it.
No, you don't. No.
You see Dooku's ship leave the atmosphere of Geonosis and go into hyperspace. And then come out of hyperspace.
Mandela effect.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, so yes, I got Rex and Cody mixed up, so I was confused by Rex's blonde hair.
That's actually not when you got them mixed up. You got them mixed up in the next episode.
No, I told you that I had them mixed up when we were watching the next episode.
Yeah.
But I already had them mixed up. That was why I was surprised. At
Even
the
though I
hair.
looked at you and said,
you said Rex. I know you said Rex, but in my head, I had the characters crossed.
In the brain. Crosshaired?
My brain got snipped. So anyways, Rex shows up and catches the clone sniper. Well, he's a sniper.
Yeah, we were like,
and then they take the helmet off, and it's like, it's just a clone.
It's a different one. It's not Crosshair.
And they mentioned in the next episode that he's got no identifying markers or anything.
We got to get to that.
Okay.
We still have somewhere to go through.
Well, yes. Well, I have one last thing. So they capture him, and they give him a little bit of a...
we see Captain Rex in jeans. Jeans are just canon now.
Yes, that is
That
true.
man's wearing denim. Full chaps.
Denim. Anyways, and this clone, he's a pretty spicy boy. He's like real, like, you've been fighting for the wrong side, brother. And then you say, man, is he about to like kill himself with his cyanide tooth?
I said, bite cyanide capsule.
Yeah. And then he like chomps down real hard and electricity shoots through his face. You were pretty darn close on that. That thought. I had the same thought in my head, but I was like, surely not.
Bite cyanide capsule.
I just have it written down. He unalives himself with a spicy tooth.
And so we had two very different reactions because I said bite cyanide capsule, and then he bites whatever mini toaster was in his mouth. I don't know. And Cameron, and you just say what it's like to chew 5 gum, and then he's dead. So, do you want to know something about that garage? Do you want to know who that is?
Is it confirmed to be the garage from season 7 of Clone Wars?
I'm pretty sure that's where that is.
I mean, it's definitely down in the lower levels.
It looks very similar.
If it's the same garage as the sisters,
the Martez sisters.
That's ridiculous. That's so dumb.
Okay,
but at least we didn't see them.
But we see them in the first season. They're who contact Rex after they encounter the Bad Batch.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So because they
totally forgot about that.
Because they ran around with Ahsoka in season 7, and then Order 66 happens. Whatever, we don't see them. But then they encounter. It's in the couple beginning episodes of Bad Batch because it's the infamous. Is there an echo in here? Yes.
Pretty good, actually.
The Martez sisters show up, and then after they encounter the Bad Batch, they immediately go to snitch to Rex. And I mean valid, because I would too. But they immediately go and tell Rex, and that's who they call. Because they were like, do you want to help out with something bigger? And and Hunter was like, no.
Fair enough. So, that's the end of the episode. Nice little cliffhanger.
Another glorious episode without Crosshair. 6 out of 7 episodes.
We need a counter on the wall. It's been so many days since a Crosshair incident.
We can put it on my door. I have a
What was the date of the release of that episode? It was released. Episode 3 was released on January 11th. It's been nearly a month since Crosshair incident.
Glorious.
Anyways, so on to episode 8, which is entitled what is it? It is entitled The Truth and Consequences. And
when will you learn?
Your actions have consequences. Real nice.
They're gonna learn soon. They learned in that episode.
And we start off with the Bad Batch just hanging out on their spaceship. And what I retroactively realized was one of my favorite quotes from this show. Hunter says, "I'm done waiting around for Sid." I love that because I hate
Wrecker
Sid.
says that.
Oh, I said the wrong name. Yeah, Rekka.
Yeah, Wrecker goes, "I'm done waiting around for Sid."
He finally... I hope they just continue that mantra for the rest of the season. Just deserter. Anyways,
she's bad landlord. Definitely paints over all the outlets in her apartments white with white paint. This is a funny moment where Rex pops up and we're like, "Yay, Rex!" And that's also where you had to mixed up the two boys.
Yeah,
because you're like, he's been AWOL, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, we realized my confusion because I started talking about.
He's like, how do they trust?
I was like, why do they trust him? It's so weird. Like, did we just like miss? And I was describing Cody. Yes. I was thinking this was Cody who had just gone AWOL, and I'd be surprised that the Bad Batch trusted Cody. And then I realized, oh no, Rex has been AWOL since the end of Clone Wars.
Imagine the next time we see Cody, he's dyed his hair blonde.
Oh no, it's just the orange that he normally wore.
You're never gonna keep them apart. So they're going to Coruscant, and they're like, Rex, we don't really like that idea. And Rex is kind of like, that's too bad.
Oh, come on. We
also get to see Omega meditating because Gungi taught her, and there's kind of a cute moment between her and Echo, where she's like, don't you want to meditate? And he's like, no. I experienced
I'm a robot.
She's like, I experienced enough of that when I was a war prisoner on Skako Minor, and I was like, Echo trauma dumping again.
You can sleep when you're dead. He's a Facebook mom.
He's like, and then Rex calls, and he I don't know if you saw, but he got really excited when Rex called.
I must have missed us probably writing something down.
Or you were tormenting my cat.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I got a little bored during this episode.
He was tormenting Athena by.
We have a special relationship. We know we can play fight, and she likes it. I can tell when she's gotten actually angry.
True, she did stay there.
Yeah,
after you pestered her for 30 minutes straight. But so
a little bit of foreshadowing that this they had this cute little moment. Cute little moments never go. No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
Any cute moment always is a setup for a sad moment.
Equally balanced as all things should be. So they go to Coruscant. I made a joke that they were going to get within like 20 clicks of Coruscant, and Crosshair was just going to like sniff them out. It's going to be
not this time.
There's the didgeridoos that left me on Camino.
Very nice reference.
And so they come to Coruscant and they meet up with Rex in his jeans. I loved his black and white jacket. I want a jacket
costumes.
like that.
Good costume design for this show.
Top tier. Even so. And he's got Senator Chuchi with him, and she comes out, and he's like, these are my friends, or whatever, his team that were going to help him. And the camera pans from, it's like, I don't know, Hunter, Echo, Tech, up to Wrecker, pauses, and moves down to Omega. And it's just good timing because Omega was like entirely out of frame too. And it just pointed down. It's
a very nice comedic cut.
It's like, they had fun with that. I would have, I love that. So it was just good.
I have written down that they describe how the clone like had all his like numbers erased or something.
Yeah.
And which calls the question how they read that. I don't know if it's in the inhibitor chip or what. But I just made the comment, he's like a gun with the serial numbers rubbed off. Which is not untrue.
No,
they couldn't track
really
this clone down.
That is really accurate. Yeah, I just thought it was funny that they were like, what do you want us to look at? And Rex just unzips a dead man in a body bag. And I'm like, in front of the kid?
You got into some weird hobbies since you left the clone army there, Rex. Just...
Oh, man.
It would be very strange to see a dead body that looks exactly like you, though. I guess the clones are used to it.
Trippy. They're like, yeah, we saw that every day back in the days. So then Chuchi's like, how the heck is this kid gonna help? And so we get to have some fun moments between Chuchi and Omega.
Fun is relative. I only have like 4 things written down about this episode. I've already said 2, and I wrote them all retroactively. I don't know. I thought it was a bad episode. It just kind of felt a little padded to me.
Yeah. When Chuchi encounters Rampart with Omega in the hallway. Also, I don't know if you've noticed since the Imperial takeover, the hall we mentioned this in the last episode, when Chuchi, for some reason, thought it was going to be a good idea to just encounter Rampart one-on-one, and start accusing him of things. The devil works hard, but the Imperial interior designers work harder. They have stripped down kind of like the luxe opulence that used to be in the House of the Senators. Like, when we see Anakin running up the stairs in, no, I am thinking of a different scene. I think I'm thinking of the Opera House.
Yeah, he's got 2 running scenes in Revenge
They're
of the
the
Sith.
same. But so, nonetheless, I remember, the Senator, even in the Clone Wars, was a little brighter. And now it's very, like, you could have put like a green screen on Rampart and he would have blended in to the background. So very interesting how they they're like, no carpets, no fun.
I'm just trying to remember. So you just mentioned the bad idea for Chuchi to go meet with Rampart and try to call him out by herself. I've totally forgot. We already learned this season that's a bad idea because Wilco is still falling silently down that trench.
Still gone.
And he's thinking about the mistake he made of confronting Rampart by himself.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
Been falling for 30 days.
But so, they encounter Rampart in the hallway, and if looks could kill, Omega would have smited him. Smitten? Is that the term?
Smoted. I don't know.
She like, I made a comment where you said Rampart, more like I want to tear him apart. And my first comment was she would have went full on guns blazing if she had her bow with her. No hesitation. She would have taken him out.
I won't hesitate.
Rebecca, it's not. I won't hesitate. Anyways, and so when she got sitting on the Senate meeting, and she's like, "Where's the clones chair?" And it's like, oh, they don't have one. She's like, "What do you mean they don't have representation?" It's like they don't. So my thought was Omega's going to go full no taxation without representation on him. Amendment 23.
Throw all the Minto mix into the river.
All the soup into the river.
All the calf.
all the calf. And then we get to see Halle Bertoni, which we haven't seen from Clone Wars. She's the senator from Camino.
Oh, so this is a pre-existing character.
Yeah, she's been in Clone Wars.
Okay. This raised for me an interesting question. No one seems to have questioned the fact that Camino was previously non-existent to the outside world. No one knew about Camino. And now
they spawned in one day.
Like the whole of the Republic looked past red flags worse than most 13-year-old girls with their middle school boyfriend. Like,
oh my god!
Like there was so many signs that this clone army thing was so suspicious, and they just did not care.
Maybe they were trying. Maybe they could technically play it off as this is a system that. Sorry, I think that this is a system that wanted to stay neutral previously, and then just kind of came out of the woodworks like, let us join, because I don't think they might have gotten away with it at that point, but with I don't know,
they just have a senator.
They spawned in
with, and it's only been 3 years, and they're like 3 years ago we did not even know this planet existed. Now it has a senator. And they already had a clone army ready for us.
250,000 with 1 million more on the way.
It just I know it all had to happen, but man, the senators are dumb.
but yeah, so we see her. She is first introduced in one of the seasons of Clone Wars. She had a bit of a tiff with Padme, but Padme also had beef with every single senator that wasn't Mon Mothma and Bail.
I'm sure.
And a select few.
Mm-hmm. And she walks into the apartment and sits on the weirdest chair across the room. Very strange blocking choice.
So weird. It's like it's like if I move the chair in my apartment, like in front of the TV.
Yeah,
just
odd.
Sit right by, or it's like if you sat on like my shoe organizer.
It feels like something someone does when they first walk into someone's apartment for the first time. They don't know where to sit.
Yeah.
And you just sit down wherever you can find. But that that would be very interesting in a comedy or a real life drama, but in a scene from Star Wars, it felt way out of place. Especially since the Kaminoans are already so wacky looking.
Mm-hmm. She's pink too.
Was she pink?
Yes, I said that. She's pink.
Huh.
Well,
I didn't catch that.
She's kind of pink. Also very brave of Omega. Good for Omega to be there, but Omega's like, I'm a clone. And it's like, I don't think you should be broadcasting that. But she got Bertoni's attention because she was like, they destroyed it. And Halle Bertoni was kind of like, well, because she was mad. And I probably would be too if I found out my hometown got nuked by the government. And they said a storm took it out. So I'm actually surprised they got her to work with them so easily, because if I remember the last time she showed up in the Clone Wars, it took them at least 4 episodes for her to become even semi-working with them. But I don't know, maybe if she's like, well, my planet is gone, I have nothing to lose. But they made an interesting point that Kamino, on a water planet with storms all the time, built to last storms, was taken out by a storm.
Hey man, global warming or whatever.
I don't know how much global warming you can have on that planet if it's all water.
There's a real fast to go back a step to the beginning of the Senate chamber, and Bale's like, why have we not seen the Emperor at all? Where is he? And me thinking about that now, I realized that he also did not get mining accidented right there in the middle of the Senate for doing that.
No, he doesn't get mining accidented till A New Hope.
Oh, you're right. Him and the other 9 billion people on Alderaan.
Yeah. Oh.
And I also, the comment I made at the time while we were watching the episode was when he was asking, where's the Emperor? He's not coming to these proceedings anymore. And I was like, he's got to apply his daily skin cream regimen.
He should just go with Vaseline at this point.
This is the perfect skin for my little body.
Oh, good reference. So then we get a kind of a long couple scenes of the Bad Batch breaking into Senator Rampart's Venator, which is being out of pimped my ride.
They're just installing all the new Imperial logos on the bathroom walls and in the
in the office
on the back of the Apple computers.
They're putting the Death Star logo in everyone's offices. But
the Death Star logo.
Have you seen the pictures of Palpatine's office from certain angles? He's got some tables in there that have circle designs on them that look like the Death Star in Revenge of the Sith. Oh. Okay, well, I'll have to show that to you. Anyways.
Interesting.
And so we kind of get the scenes of them sneaking in, typical Bad Batch hijinks. Yeah. I almost said hygiene. They don't have hygiene. I know that. I know hygiene. I know that ship smells. Anyways, so they kind of sneak on without really any issue, and then they start, they use a floppy disk to steal the records from Rampart's ship so they can expose him.
Yeah, they can prove that
his ship's
Kamino was destroyed and not on purpose by Rampart and not on accident by a storm.
So they get it. They do have their usual escape. They escape through an escape pod, and after Tech flies the escape pod away, I turned to Cameron, I turned to you, and I said, Rex and I have different definitions of what non-operational means when it comes to escape pods. He's like, these are non-operational. And I wasn't even expecting jets. When I expect non-operational, I just expected them to kind of
get pooped out. Just bloop.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And then they ended up being able to fly 200 feet. And yeah, so I was like, okay, interesting. Then they cut to the Senate again, and there's a really funny moment because when Chuchi comes out and she's like, there's evidence that Rampart ordered
his army.
the destruction of Camino, and you hear like the senators start to like gasp and such in the background, and it sounds like, for those of you that have seen Kung Fu Panda, in the beginning when Po breaks the jar of 1,000 warriors or whatever, and he like moves it, and it's just like the ooh noise. It sounded like that when all the senators are like getting in an uproar, and it was just a really funny moment.
Speaking of Kung Fu Panda, it's definitely on our minds because we just watched it this last weekend together. There's a great moment in that where Shifu is trying to meditate. He's just saying inner peace, and then he goes, "Whoever's making that flapping sound, please be quiet." Well, while Mega was meditating, you said inner peace, and I went, "Whoever's making that gonking sound, please be quiet." Well, that was really funny.
Gonk honk.
Gonk.
And so then they get the black box receipts from the Rampart from Rampart ship, and Chi-Chu shows them, and in extremely high definition from a camera outside of Rampart ship, at least from what I can tell.
Is it possible that recording was from his ship onto the other
maybe
ships?
But
his ship may have been above.
No, but I was certain that they were also firing.
Yeah, but it was showing the other ships firing. I don't know.
Maybe
there
it
was a
could have
drone.
been both.
It is kind of silly. The sound quality is what surprised me.
4K. And so, the Senate like explodes, and Rampart's like watching his career implode in front of him, as every good Imperial does.
Record scratch. Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got in this situation.
And then in the middle of the recording, look who shows up. Palpatine himself. Mm-hmm. And he comes up right through the middle of it, disrupting it. And he doesn't look any better. Skincare routine is not working. He needs some retinol. Real fast. I had a comment. It's not, I mean, it only is kind of funny if you've seen the episode, but throughout the previous battle on the Republic Star Destroyer, there was just one clone. Now, given we've gotten really comfortable with hearing these clone voices without helmets on, because none of our clones are wearing helmets anymore, but there's one particular clone wearing a helmet, and you just can't hear him. It's like, for some reason, the sound quality is really muffled. It was ridiculous. And like he's talking with another clone. I just turned to you and went, "What?" He's like, oh shoot, I can't remember what he says, but he was like, hold on. Unallowed energy, and the other clone was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's like, you heard that? What?
I was like, he's probably on break, and then like
clone twin telepathy.
I said he was probably on like a snack break or whatever. Just had like a mouthful of peanut butter.
Yeah, have you been eating under your helmet again? Yo. Oh, what are we talking about?
Crumbs fall. Oh, which reminds us of. Oh, not to go back to episode 7. There's a scene where they're down by the Geonosis Memorial, and the clone troopers walk by, and we couldn't tell if the noise was them walking, and it sounded like stock noises of someone like munching something.
Yes, it absolutely did.
It's good.
Marching or munching, you decide. So anyways, back and on track of describing the episode,
Rampart is thrown completely under the bus by
Palpatine himself rises from the depths.
And Palpatine's like, "Wow, this is horrible. Look at this absolutely unapproved movement made by Rampart. Arrest him." And Rampart is like, "What?" And so, he gets backstabbed by the Empire. Oh my gosh, who could have seen that coming?
But the incredible twist, what I have written down described as Palp had a plan. They turn it around.
And Palpatine immediately goes, "And the clones who are with it." And as soon as he made that switch, we both went, "No!"
Like, what an amazing twist. Like, this is legitimately one of the very few times where it felt like Palpatine, like, not necessarily that Palpatine planned for this per se, but like he set himself in a situation where he couldn't lose. Mm-hmm. Either this information never came forward and he was able to get everyone to vote for the new army, or it did come forward and it just still convinced everyone. Really, seriously, one of the absolute most logical times that Palpatine's insane capacity for planning forward actually made sense and was well executed. Like, I really loved this moment.
Yeah, it was brutal. It's like, yay! Oh no, now things are worse.
Yeah. They did it! Oh my god!
No! and all of a sudden, like Bale and Chuchi were like, that didn't work.
Yes, he's pretty much like, yeah, Rampart did this horrible thing, but he did not act alone. The clone's working for him. Really brilliant.
Oh yeah.
What a masterclass.
Yeah. So then we switched to the Bad Batch saying their goodbye to Rex.
Like, we gotta get the heck out of here. We have made things worse.
Yeah, they're like, we have ruined everything for every single clone ever. We gotta go. And as they go to leave, Echo stays next to Rex. And so Echo leaves the Bad Batch to stay with Rex. And one thing I found kind of interesting and a little sad about this scene is Hunter, Tech, and Wrecker were literally like, okay, bye. They were like,
see ya.
Yeah, like Wrecker's like, don't get in too much trouble. That's, he's like, don't get in too much trouble. I don't know, but Wrecker's like, don't get in too much trouble without us. Tech's like, deuces. And
this is male friendship, Rachel.
And Hunter is like, take care of yourself. I don't even remember what they said, but they like just a sentence to them. They're like, bye. Have fun. Bye, buddy. I hope you find your dad. And
Echo's like, excuse me. Oh, what the fuck?
Echo's like, okay, bye. And then Omega, I felt
I said Echo. I meant Omega.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Omega because she's blindsided by this. She's like,
they all act like they already know, and no one told Omega.
And it's been on the table for Echo because he loves Rex. I mean, we all love Rex, but he was in the 501st with Rex, so they've got that connection. It was hard for him to. Sorry, it was footsie by accident. My table is small. It was hard for him to leave Rex to go with the Bad Batch, but that's where he had to belong. And then so, I mean, he's been gunning to go back with Rex. He wanted them to join Rex after they got their chips out. He's like, we need to be doing more. He said that in like the first 2 episodes where he's like, he told Hunter, we need to be doing more. And so now he's got his opportunity to stay, but at what expense, Echo? You made Omega cry. And so she's just so sad.
He's gonna get gonked.
So
great comment on Reddit about this. It just says, I feel so bad for Echo's voice actor. He got into Star Wars and now he gets written out. I hope he can find some other work until Echo is back.
You made a good comment of an ET reference of Echo and Omega saying bye, and Echo just like taps her with a screwdriver, like, I'll be in here.
I'll be right here. Screwdriver hand.
I've never seen ET, so
you're not missing much.
And we had 2 very different responses to when they left. I said, how will they get into locked doors now without Echo?
I said, who are they gonna sell when they need money?
Omega.
Oh no! Oh, no! Make her race. Let the child race.
Let the child race. You made reference with them walking away across the stars. Starts playing.
Yeah, as the ship is flying and Echo looks at them longingly, the love theme, which is called Love Across the Stars.
No, it's just across the stars.
Oh, it's funnier if it was Love Across the Stars.
No, it's just across the stars. Imagine that as a wedding march.
I'm getting married in May.
Imagine that as a wedding march. Just have your groomsmen walk down.
Okay, enough of that.
No, okay.
It's the end of the episode.
Sure, but we've got to see Echo again.
I don't know.
I feel like we're going to have to see him again at some point, because if Rex keeps showing up, Echo has to be there. But here, so I saw this on Reddit. And someone said, I have to find my screenshot. Someone said, I hope that Echo is able to survive his time with Rex in this fight. Oh, because they're like, the party's split now. Considering that Echo and the Bad Batch aren't around by the time Rex is found by the Ghost Crew. He's not with them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought immediately too. Like, yeah, it's kind of like
we don't see him again.
It's kind of like as like pretty quickly in The Mandalorian, at the very minimum, by the end of season 2, everyone's like, Grogu's not in the sequel trilogy. It's kind of a similar thing of Echo's not in Rebels.
That's me. That's how I feel with Cody too. Cody's not in Rebels.
We've already discussed this.
There's only 3.
He's going down. We're going down.
We haven't even seen Wolf yet. Who is in Rebels?
That's true. We're still waiting around.
Speaking of your Fall Out Boy reference, I have tickets to one of their shows this summer.
Oh my god. She's like, of course you do.
I'm going with my mom.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
We're gonna have a good time. Anyways, another thing I saw about this is from Reddit. Didn't see Echo leaving, but it makes sense. It's just gonna be Omega and Gonk on the ship by the end.
I saw that comment too. That's great.
Oh man.
The Gonk batch.
The Gonk batch. I know, like, we get introduced to all these characters and it's just kind of one of those moments where like they're not in Rebels or they're not in the sequel.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts on this doubleheader?
Some wild fillings those Empire dentist droids are doing.
What if I just didn't know? What if he had like this bit his tongue by accident and was just reacting to biting his tongue, and then just suddenly you're just dead? Okay, I'm trying to find. Well, I mean, did you have any final thoughts on? Oh, you're looking through Reddit right now to see if there's any final things. I'm getting ready for meme minute. I'm officially changing it to meme minute.
Someone said,
like alliteration.
If Rampart's getting taken out now, who's going to be the big bad for the rest of the season?
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah,
Tarkin.
Donk.
Oh.
All right. Let's see if it's thinking the same thing. 1, 2, 3, Gonk.
Imagine the Bad Batch ends by Darth Vader showing up and killing all of them.
Just that would be a great way to end every prequel. You get Rogue One. Just every prequel ends with just Vader just kills everyone.
Shout out to Rex. Has millions of brothers, and as soon as one of them said they were in trouble, Rex was like, I bet, and was there with the quickness.
Very nice.
But he didn't make it fast enough, but he tried. He was too busy, I don't know, looming in the dark, being menacing.
All right, I'm excited for Meme Minute because I realized last week I forgot to share a meme I made that relates to this podcast. So I'm going to play. So I made it into a comic. But I saw the clip from this cartoon on the internet, so I'm going to play the clip. But imagine that Garfield is Rachel, that John Arbuckle is
you.
No, is Dave Filoni, and that Nermal is the person that Rachel most dislikes.
Oh, Garfield, we have a visitor.
Don't tell me it's normal.
It's normal.
I asked you not to tell me that.
So the moment I heard that, I thought about, I made it to a comic. It took me like 30 minutes. I did it while I was at work on Photoshop. I had to make the screenshots myself. I labeled Garfield as Rachel, John as Dave Filoni, and Nermal as, almost called him Killshot, Crosshair. And I was pretty proud of that.
Hey, 7 out of 8 episodes, Cameron, no Crosshair.
That's pretty wild, actually.
That's a good ratio, if you ask me.
Pretty interesting, honestly.
So I saw this. I meant to share this like over 2 weeks ago. It was the episode 4 when the racing episode.
Okay.
Where Hunter and Echo are off delivering Nerf nuggets for Sid.
Okay.
And I saw this comment on TikTok that says Hunter and Echo have started door dashing for extra credits.
That's great. I love that.
It was so good. I can't tell you how mad I was when I realized I forgot to share that. And I forgot to share it last week too.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you shared it this week. That's really fun.
It's so good. This is a meme that I made that a lot of people probably aren't going to get. And I made this. So our church has pens.
So dumb.
No, I love it. Our church has pens. And every single time I go to church, I end up taking a pen. Because I never bring my own and I use them to write notes. And I made this meme where I took a picture of the pen and I put it in that scene from Revenge of the Sith with Grievous when he takes Obi-Wan's and Anakin's lightsabers and he goes, "This will make a fine addition to my collection." He dramatically opens up his cape and there's like 7 more. And I edited in a picture of that pen. So this will make a fine addition to my collection. So
it was very funny for 5 people in our friend group that you sent it to.
It was good.
Yes. This is not a meme as much as it's a funny video. Did not know. I've never really heard McGregor's opinions on the sequel trilogy, but he clearly has a very strong opinion about this one particular subject.
If you know how to handle a lightsaber like we did, you don't need a hilt. That's just one thing that I think they might have got wrong. It's exciting that I saw the trailer and it looks like he's absolutely nailed it, the world, and it feels right. It feels like, I'm not sure about the hilt and the lightsaber. And if you fight with a lightsaber properly, you don't need one. But and I saw the hilt come out, and I went, "Oh, done. I'm there." That's right. No. I went, "Oh, no. You don't need hilts. What? If you know how to handle a lightsaber, you don't need a silly hilt. Hilts are for wow." Anyway, one second. It's throwdown from Obi-Wan himself. Yeah. I was curious. We managed very well. The Jedi Order managed very well without hilts for hundreds of millions of years. Listen to Obi-Wan. That's a very Disney thing, the hilt, I think. That's a bit Disney, isn't it? That is amazing. Cowards. That lightsaber looks like a child made it. If you know how to handle it.
So, clearly, Ian McGregor does not like Kylo Ren's crossguard.
That sounds like just a man who's jealous of not having a crossguard. One thing I want to talk about, this isn't really meme corner. We talked about this last night, how when Star Wars has like a kind of major Imperial character, one thing they do to make them like kind of look Imperial is they just slick their hair back. And this example that I saw was Domhnall Gleeson, who played General Hux. You compare this Domhnall Gleeson normal, he looks like just this really nice kind of fuzzy friendly guy.
Yes.
And then they doused that man in like I don't know, what do guys use to style their hair? What's it called? Gel, whatever.
Yeah, styling gel, and like slicked them all back. And we see the same thing with Kyle Soller, who played Cyril in Andor. If you look up a picture of Kyle Soller, he looks like he's been camping for the last 3 months. Like, they clean shave him. That's Cyril, the actor. Wow.
Yes, he looks like he's been camping for like three months. Like, look at that man. He's so fuzzy.
That's really interesting.
And so we've kind of talked about this style that just to make him look so unfriendly, they like shave him. They like give him like baby shaves. And grease him back. And we even see that in the cartoons. We see it with Agent Callus. My favorite term was, I saw this on Twitter when he joined the Rebels, spoilers for Rebels, and like didn't have to dress like an Imperial. Someone called it the fluffification of Agent Callus because he did like the opposite.
Yes.
It was really funny. I loved it.
So I've got a fun audio clip here.
That episode of SpongeBob's where they were starting a band. Listen to it.
Well, maybe we wouldn't sound so bad if some people didn't try to play with big, meaty claws. What did you say, punk? Big, meaty claws! Well, he's claws!
So, I'm sure many of the people who might listen to this recognize that clip as a SpongeBob clip. And if you watch Clone Wars, you should recognize that the voice of one Mr. D. Bradley Baker, the voice of all the clones. And it's just incredibly funny to think about that line of dialogue coming from. It sounds a little bit like Wrecker, a little bit like.
Did you see what I sent you? What comment I sent you?
What did you say?
I replied to it.
There's an edit someone could make there with Wrecker and Sid.
Big meaty claws. It could happen.
Very
See,
nice.
when I hear D. Bradley Baker, I always associate with him with number 4 from Kids Next Door.
Sure. Fair enough.
Every time I hear, I'm like, that's number 4.
Big meaty claws.
Big
Of course,
meaty
then
claws.
there's my speaking of the Across the Stars, this is one of my favorite. This has been used a couple different times on the internet to very humorous effect.
Just received a report from Master Kenobi. He has engaged General Grievous.
And then it shows Obi-Wan and Grievous as Legos getting married. And man, I think that's so funny.
That's one of my favorite. I love making that joke every time I hear, "Oh, what is engaged, General Grievous?" I like instinctively say,
Aw.
"Congratulations,
They're engaged.
congratulations." There is a unfortunate lack of memes in the Star Wars thread right now, and that makes me very sad. I don't know why. Like, is it the Bad Batch thread? Does Bad Batch have their own thread? I'm a little scarce on the memes this week, unfortunately.
You sent me the photo of the sacred Jedi texts.
The sacred.
And it was because you had another reference to church again. You had walked into church and you had the Kung Fu Panda DVD. It pays off. The mentioning the Kung Fu Panda DVD earlier. You'd walked into church with it in. You almost did. The sacred Jedi text.
So yeah, when we watched Kung Fu Panda, I put the DVD in my purse. I got a big old purse and it fits like mom purse. And I forgot to take it out, so I went to church 2 days later. I was just in my purse, so I left it in my car, and I texted Cameron. I was like, I almost brought the DVD, and I immediately sent him the picture of Luke from The Last Jedi, the sacred texts.
This is very visual, and I don't think we've actually done it yet, but we're planning to actually post all these memes on our Twitter and Facebook, which we're on Facebook now, by the way, if you'd like to follow there. And so this is very visual, but I just want to get a live reaction from Rachel. She's seen this, but it's a Photoshop of Boba Fett from Attack of the Clones, but with slimmer features and blonde hair, and it just says live action Omega. And it is cursed.
You also sent me this picture from Reddit, the Hold On to Your Helmets, and it's the Bad Batch logo. It says another fetch quest.
Another effing fetch quest. But it's the Bad Batch logo.
Yeah, it was.
It's real good. I like it a lot.
It's good.
Oh, and a meme you sent me this week, or at least, what's it? I don't think we brought it up last week. No, you sent it to me on Friday. Yeah, this is after that we recorded last week.
I don't remember anything anymore.
You sent this to me. This is relevant to a comment I made earlier. It just says when your when your teammates need to sell you for credits and they need to sell stuff for credits and they look at you, and it's just a close up of Echo's face. It says, "Oh no,
oh no, oh no, oh man." Just some like.
Here's one you also sent me. It's got footage of the Bad Batch, and it's.
I wish you guys would take a greater interest in my science. We're brothers, but sometimes it feels like we're just roommates.
Donnie, if you don't cut it out with your middle child nonsense.
And that was Tech and Hunter, and I thought that was real good.
You don't knock it with your middle child nonsense. It's good.
I think we're good for this week. That was a pretty good meme minute. Much more than a minute. It's meme minute, but it's longer than a minute. That's the name of the segment.
We spent
meme minute, but it's
20
longer than
minutes.
a minute. It's pretty good. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for yet another nerdy Wednesday night of talking about Star Wars. Very little. We didn't even bring up Transformers.
We did not bring up Transformers at all.
I normally try really hard to.
We haven't watched any episodes in a while.
Yeah, we need to find. We'll do it. We'll do it. I would like to do one episode because we'll just be saying this. What is there to say about that show that we could fill week after week? The thing I think we should do. We'll watch the whole show.
Okay.
And then just do like one episode on.
I know what episode we need to talk about.
Yeah, you keep like alluding to this.
I know what episode we need to talk about.
I look forward to it.
Just based on some reactions you've had in the past.
I feel like Transformers came up this week. Did you make a joke recently about Revenge of the Fallen or something. You
my gosh.
commented.
It's another church reference. I don't remember what song it is, but there's a line in one of the worship songs the team sings that says he came for the fallen.
That's great.
And I'm just like, I'm really just like jamming worship, and I'm just like, Transformers.
I think it was you. Maybe it wasn't, but someone said the audacity for Michael Bay to unironically put this line in one of his movies, and it's Agent Simmons like,
yes!
Come on, let's tell the story. Beginning, middle, end.
Yes, I said that too. And it was from the worst one too. Too.
Yeah, that's a good joke. That's a real good joke. So we got a little bit of Transformers. I'm gonna quickly check my. Oh, you sent this to me today. Another meme. This is not Transformers. It's still Star Wars, but it just has photos or images of Nick Sant, the white bearded rebel from Return of the Jedi, and it's got an image of Rex when he's older, and it just says "I want to believe."
It's the format where it's like that picture of the alien saucer in the sky. It's so good. I did think of two things, and I will share very quickly because I've started sending memes to our Twitter account from me. So I remember to bring them up, and then I never do. There's one from Transformers. It is the scene from Transformers 4 where it is the Autobots fighting. Can I even say this? Will we get censored if I
do what?
Say soldiers from the certain name of soldiers from World War II? I know TikTok will like remove content.
I think we'll be fine.
German soldiers from World War II. Self-explanatory.
I see.
It's the Autobots fighting them, and it's a 37-second clip, and the aspect ratio changes 13 times.
Yes.
In those 37 seconds.
We'll definitely end up talking about I would gladly do one episode per Transformers film, and that would be super fun. And then one episode of this podcast.
This is from G1. I can't remember what episode it is. It's the episode that Ironhide retires for some reason, and it's one of the funniest videos. I just have to play the audio.
Return from active service, Prime. Very well, if you feel that strongly about it. But we shall miss you, Ironhide, old friend. Miss you already.
It's just
that's great.
It's immediate. Miss you already. Like he's not even out of frame yet.
Here is the tweet I referenced earlier. It says, "Still boggles my brain that Michael Bay put this clip in a Transformers film without a hint of irony."
Beginning, middle, end. Facts, details, condense, plot, tell it.
That's so good. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Yeah, so we'll definitely get more into Transformers stuff once we're through this very thick. And also, it keeps getting extended because do you know what we also are going to have? You sent this to me. Star Wars Visions Volume 2 is releasing on May 4th, which is very exciting. I think we both really enjoyed Visions 1.
There are a lot of Visions I really enjoyed. The Village Bride is the best episode, and I'll die on that hill. Bye.
Which one?
The Village Bride.
The Village Bride. I don't remember.
We get to see...
Nice. Burp right in the mic. Nice.
I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be like a hiccup. Leave me alone. You can get out of my house.
Holy crap.
Just mute it. What?
I did not look very closely at the animation studios they announced.
Yeah?
Aardman.
Yeah.
Who did Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run.
Yeah.
That rules.
It's gonna be like Robot Chicken, but
I'm so excited. Live on mic, friends. You get to hear this for the first time. That is brilliantly exciting. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna have a long. So I feel like I should go through and like look at some of the best episodes for sure that we'll want to talk about. But there's one in particular that we're gonna have to watch, and I'm so excited to watch your reaction to that episode.
Wait, The Village Bride. That's what you said.
I was back to Transformers, but yes, The Village Bride is my favorite, which is the one where we see the Jedi. She's got the yellow lightsaber, and they arrive at this village, and it's like a wedding, but they're like wedding off like the village princess to this like former separatist leader.
Man, I do not remember that.
Oh my gosh!
Weird. I'll have to rewatch them.
You will.
Huh. Anyways. I look forward to doing an overview of Transformers G1 with you. It'll be a lot of fun. We can satisfy some of the Transformers fans who want to listen to this.
Cameron's nervous because I know. Of the
Nervous?
episodes. I feel like you're nervous because of the episodes I want you to watch.
Excited. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I love G1 so much. One of my favorite things now because it's just so much. It's a lot.
How would you describe it? Much.
Okay, so I think we got to sign off for the week. We're gonna sign off for this week, saying, "Watch out for spicy electric teeth in your mouth." Those droids may have installed it already.
Get better fillings. Get better dental insurance.
Good night, friends.
Good night, everybody.